Hey everyone, it's Brett from Hope to Prosper, and I'm here in Mount Baldy with my buddy John, and we're about to summit Mount Baldy. This will be my third of the 6-pack of peaks, and I probably am going to summit 2 peaks this year, so pretty excited about that. And I'm excited about today's subject, which is why I love my bucket list. All right, thanks for coming along.
Today, I want to talk about my bucket list. I watched a couple of YouTube videos last week, one from Joe Kuhn and the other from Ronnie Christian at A Resilient Life, and about they have ditched their bucket lists and the reasons why. Mostly, they didn't like the stress of it or the competition, and there were other reasons, but for many reasons, they basically have decided they're done with their bucket list. So anyways, I'm here to say today that I love my bucket list. And so I want to tell you why I have a bucket list and how I use it and what I get out of it. So before we get started, I want to give a retirement shout out to one of my longtime viewers, Rob Lowry. So Rob retired a couple weeks ago. I was in Alaska, so I wasn't able to announce it then, but just before his 59th birthday, after 34 years of teaching in the UK. So congratulations, Rob. Welcome to retirement. I hope you enjoy your new life and all your newfound freedom. Just let me know if you have any questions or need any tips, man. I'm happy to forward them to you. And once again, congratulations. Okay, so let's start with goals and visions. I created my bucket list about 2 years before I retired, believe it or not. I thought about all the places I wanted to go and all the places I wanted to see and all the things I wanted to do, and I decided I needed to write them down. So I put them in a bucket list, and I remember just sitting at my desk at work thinking, man, life is just passing me by. I mean, literally, I'm sitting here and stuck in this desk to make money, and my life is just bleeding out on the pavement. And man, it was a horrible thought. But then I had this list, and it helped me see into the future and dream about all these trips and all the places I wanted to go and all the things I wanted to do. All the things I'm doing now in my videos, I dreamed about while I was stuck in a desk. So in only a couple years since I retired, basically 2.5 years, I've gone through about half my list, and I'm really proud of that. And I have a lot of stuff coming up that's going to really round it out. So I've been kicking butt on my bucket list. And so I'm really thankful for it. And like I said, it gives me goals. It gives me vision. Not only that, it keeps me on track. I've tried to take my goals and visions and turn them into reality. Because, what's a dream without action? What's a goal without action? It's just a dream, right? But I'm just the opposite. These goals, these dreams, these visions, they're going into reality, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really happy about it. So another thing is, this isn't just for my bucket list. It's for everything I've ever dreamed about. I've told you guys on this before. I don't want to brag or anything, but virtually, except one, all of my lifetime goals I've already reached. And so when I reached all my lifetime goals, I switched over to my bucket list. And this is the new thing I have to look forward to. I decided I wasn't going to make a bunch of new goals and creating a bunch of new obligations for myself. Instead, I switched to a bucket list, and I switched to adventures. And I decided, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to do all these adventures. Instead of like running down a 30-year goal of like making $1 million or something stupid like that, I decided I'm going to go all these places and I'm going to do all these things. So I switched from goals to a bucket list. And this bucket list keeps me on track for all these adventures. Another funny thing is, this keeps me on track too, I posted it online. Now, I've showed you guys this before, but I'll just pop it up again. I put all my bucket lists online, and I update it regularly. And so this kind of keeps me on track, that the fact that it's out there publicly, and then at least for myself, there's not a lot of people who follow my blog anymore, but for me, at least it's out there publicly, and that kind of helps keep me moving along. Okay, here's another thing, and this is a huge reason that I have my bucket list, and one of the big benefits of it. It's called time bucketing. Now, time bucketing is a concept that I kind of swiped from the book Die with Zero. I read the book Die with Zero. I came on this channel and I did a review of it. And it's a cool book and all, but I don't intend to die with zero. I intend to keep my portfolio going up so that I can hand it off to my wife or kids or whomever. I don't want it drawing down because that scares me. But anyways, so I digress. One of the great things I got out of the book Die with Zero is time bucketing. And what time bucketing is you arrange your bucket list in order for age-appropriate things. And in my case, it's not only age-appropriate things, it's financial things as well. So I went and I reordered my bucket list so that I'm going to do the most strenuous things first, like climbing these mountain peaks. I barely made this peak, man. I had to will myself up and down that mountain. And I'm only 61, so I'm obviously not going to be doing this in my 70s or 80s, at least that I know of. So I'm doing all the most strenuous things first, and then I'm doing the more expensive things later on. As I get closer to Social Security, I'm still 6 years out from Social Security, by the way, at full retirement age. That's when I'm going to start going to Australia, New Zealand, Costa Rica, all the more expensive travel. Europe is when my budget goes up. So I've time bucketed my bucket list so that I'm doing the strenuous things first, and then the more expensive things in the mid-range, and then later on I'll do things that are more age-appropriate. So I can always go on a cruise or take a bus tour later when I'm older. And, let's be honest, 20 years from now, if we're lucky, we're gonna be sitting in a nursing home or a house watching a TV. So for now, I'm doing all the strenuous stuff. I need that complete that now. So time bucketing is another benefit of having a bucket list that really helps me a lot. And then finally, checking things off. I know this sounds lame. I freaking love to just check stuff off. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it goes back to my work life when I had checklists of stuff that I did every day. I don't know if it goes back to school, but I love to check stuff off. Maybe it gives me a sense of accomplishment. I don't know. Maybe it just feels like I'm making progress. But either way, I'm running down my list. I'm getting things done, and it makes me feel good. So that's the reasons that I have a bucket list, and I'm very happy I have one, and I recommend it to others. It doesn't have to be that serious. You don't have to accomplish everything, but it's just a good guide to have. Okay, so the bottom line. The bottom line is, let's wrap this up. The bottom line is that having a bucket list isn't for everyone. If you have a list and you can't accomplish the items, it could create stress for you or disappointment or a lot of other things. And so maybe it's not your thing. But for me, I don't want to look back at my life at 20 years and wish that I had done more with this gift I have of early retirement. I got to retire 9 years early. I'm not going to waste that time. I'm doing everything now that I set out to do, and I'm going to keep doing it until either I run out of list or I add more adventures to the list I got. So this is the bottom line. Nobody gets to wind back the clock and do their life over or their retirement. So I'm trying to do it right the first time so I don't have to look back with regret. And that is why I have a bucket list, and that's why I love it, and that's why I'm going to keep going with it.
Okay, everyone, thanks for coming along. Man, that was a tough hike. I am beat. John's almost beat. He's in better shape than me. But yeah, that was a tough hike. Anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the scenery and the content. And I wish you all health, happiness, and prosperity in your lives. And we'll see you next week on my next big adventure. Don't know what it is yet, but I promise you it's going to be fun. All right, thanks for coming along.